Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that this situation has reached critical mass. It appears that this situation, without my involvement at all, has turned into an actual hellscape. Because as you can see over here, we have the video title is Wuthering Waves Destroying 3.0 Exploration. As you can see, god damn, this video has not been positively received. And I'm gonna be real here. This isn't the first time that I've seen this video. This isn't the first time that it's been linked to me. This was actually my reaction to getting linked this video just 2 days ago. Really? Check this out. What is this? This wasn't today. This. I did laundry. It wasn't today. This was two days ago. I just want to confirm that. I know the outfit is literally exactly the same. It's 2 days. It's two. You can see. Is Wuthering Waves destroying exploration in the three? I'm good on this, man. I already know this is I already know that this is a disaster situation, but this is I already know right off the bat. Yeah, I don't even want to get in on this. Yeah, like this is one situation, and you can see where the dislike ratio was prior to me reacting to it today. And so, let's wash away the idea that good old Sate is brigading smaller YouTubers. Because I intentionally said I wasn't going to fucking react to it 2 days ago. I didn't. And this is where it's at right now. So it could just be, I might have a positive reaction to this, right? It could be everybody else that's wrong. But if I do have a negative reaction to this, do keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I did not punch down, I did not brigade, I did not cause any of this. Literally, where I'll say this is so bad and so stupid, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I'm absolved. I am absolved, ladies and gentlemen. So do keep that in mind. With a clear conscience and a clear palate and clear morals, let's go ahead. Let's get right on into this one. We got Pixel Tree over here with, is Wuthering Waves destroying exploration in the 3.0 update?
Let me just preface this video by saying, I do not dislike Wuthering Waves as a game. I actually think it's a very good game. I've been a fan of it for quite a while.
Whenever somebody starts off a video like this, I'm already thinking, oh boy, what are they gonna say? Oh boy, they must have a real crazy take, don't they? They must have cooked up something diabolical if this is how they're going to start off the video.
I've stopped playing it since...
Can you turn on the subtitles, guys? Is it that hard to understand somebody who's Australian?
Just have stopped playing it since around about 2.2 for various reasons, but I still want to say it's a very good game and I have been a fan of it since day one. But this video might also upset some people because people can be a little bit hypersensitive around criticisms of this game. Now, I just want to say as well, of my criticisms in this video are pretty much subjective criticisms. I'm not talking about objective systems and saying things are objectively bad in the game. It's more a subjective design critique overall. One, some visual stuff, and two, some more environmental world design. And it kind of bounces off a video that I spoke about prior, where I said I wasn't that impressed with the 3.0 teaser.
So I read a little bit in the comments section. I wasn't entirely sure if he's already said it right now, that he's currently not playing the game. And so he's not playing the game on a bit of a break, and then also the 3.0 teaser and stuff isn't that exciting for him. All right, we're getting a little bit of the framing over here. He's not coming into this update. He said since 2.2. Okay. So he's not coming into this update with a lot of context for how the game has either improved or gotten worse, potentially, right? And also doesn't have, like, any of the things regarding, like, the story improvements there, stuff like that. Okay.
I think what they've shown now shows a lot more, and it looks a lot better than that initial teaser. I still believe that teaser that we saw for PlayStation wasn't a great teaser, and that was me critiquing the teaser, and then just critiquing what we could see. And a lot.
Okay, so he didn't like the initial PlayStation teaser with Mornier and Linné, that very first one that we got, where it showed off like their combat, their kits, all of that.
A lot of people didn't like that. And I just want to say, before you freak out and start going mental in the comments and going crazy on the dislikes and stuff, you can do that, but just at least see where I'm coming from first. And then, you know, refute what I'm saying, because it's totally subjective, so you might wholly disagree with me, okay?
I think the problem with starting off a video like this is that we haven't even gotten into the topical area of the actual title. So this is what I'll kind of like talk about as the internal thought process as a viewer. I've already been met with a negative statement, right? Is Wuthering Waves destroying a part of the game? Exploration. And so I'm heading into this potentially as a Wuthering Waves fan, right? As someone thinking that this guy's going to be negative about just exploration. Then I proceed to, in the first minute and 30 seconds, get a whole preamble about how the game's not being played by the CC right now, and a bunch of other criticisms about some unrelated shit that has nothing to do at all with the exploration that we're talking about. So it's like, we've managed to hit the viewer with two negative things surrounding the game, haven't even gotten close to the topical area of exploration, and are like asking for more goodwill from the viewer to fully hear out their point. This is my honest take. I think the structure of this video is an absolute fucking disaster, and I feel like the structure of what I've outlined in the last minute and 30 seconds alone is enough for people to have disliked the video. I haven't even gotten into the actual points, and I can already see why already probably hundreds of people disliked the video.
Trying to make objective statements about the game here. But that being said, shall we get into what I'm talking about? Obviously, the 3.0 live stream happened today, and I did go through and watch like the majority of it on stream. And I want to say, there's lots of positives, right? I do like the look of the things they're adding to the combat. Sure. I think some of the new weapons, the standard weapons for the area, look really cool as well. I think a lot of the echoes look really cool. Okay. Visually, again, Wuthering Waves pretty much kill it all the design. Although I do have some issues.
Okay, so this is another part about the video structure that I'm about. Brother, we just went from starting to talk about the negatives. Now we start talking about the stuff we like. But we're now about 2 minutes in, and we're still not on the actual topic of the fucking video. How are we still preparing? We're still building up Concerto. How are we still building up Concerto? Destroying exploration.
Some design choices, but visually the game looks gorgeous. The characters' animations look brilliant. Mornier, I think it is. I really like the look of her. I'm going to talk about one of the other characters I'm not such a big fan of, which we'll get into in a second. I like the look of the new combat events.
I'm sorry. I'm actually just going to skip until he starts talking about the exploration. If this was my honest thoughts on Wuthering Waves 3.0, I'm not skipping this part, because he's giving his honest thoughts on version 3.0 right now. The thing is, there's no exploration being mentioned right now.
So you know that I'm not wholeheartedly disliking this across the board. It's
okay, all right, we're still on the disclaimer.
And I think they're quite big things for me, right? But before we do that, can we just have a look at this here? Like, we've got this, like, geographic video that they took from the live stream, right? And it's basically just showing off some of the environmental stuff. And this, it looks really nice, right? I love the colours, I love the design. The whole thing looks pretty nice. I'm a fan of it. This area looks gorgeous. This area, again, looks absolutely stunning. This looks beautiful. Like, we've got, like, these salt pools. Like, it looks really cool. I'm a big fan of this, right? Like, a lot of this looks really dope. I do really like this, like...
There's no way I'm like, and he still hasn't started talking about the main point. Guys, I'm almost a fifth into the video, and we still haven't addressed the actual topic.
Orbital lift thing they've got in the game where you can drive up to the orbital station that's in space, which is really cool, actually. I really do like that. It gives me that vibes. The game gives me a few different vibes, maybe not so. So I guess let me start with some of the visual elements here, right?
Okay, is this where the critique begins?
This is not a negative design, okay? This looks fine. It looks good. But I don't think it looks like Wuthering Waves for me, okay? I've just got to say that. Now, you might disagree.
You're fair to say whatever you think something is supposed to look like. This is his opinion. He has a different idea of what Wuthering Waves is supposed to look like. For example, Ryuku-sensei thinks that Wuthering Waves is supposed to look like you're colorblind. That's his representation of Wuthering Waves. And if Wuthering Waves has vibrant colors and stuff like that, it doesn't fit the vision that he has in mind. And the thing is that this is merely just an opinion on his end, right? He's free to have his own tastes. You're merely just free as viewers to think that his tastes are fucking weird.
To me, it looks like something that... It looks like it's straight out of Terra Fantasy. I've got to be honest. Now,
What the fuck is Terra You know what? That's probably a UK thing.
don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because I don't have the same visceral reaction a lot of people have to Terra Fantasy, right? But this doesn't look like Wuthering Waves
Oh, he's saying Tower of Fantasy.
to me. It just doesn't seem to fit with the whole vibe that the game has.
I thought he was talking about, like, some trendy UK, like, this is what I was thinking. I thought it was, like, one of those, like, vegan earth bars in, like, the UK where they, like, grind up, like, grass and, like, soil and shit and then, like, poop in it and then mix it up into a smoothie and then you drink it for the probiotics. I thought it was, like, Terra Fancy. Because Terra's, like, earth. So it's, like, fancy earth. I thought it was a trendy I cooked harder than he did, and my restaurant isn't even real.
Personally, for me, now I know tonal changes happen. It's a live service game, but I just want to put that in. Like, this image, it just doesn't vibe with me as Wuthering Waves. This, like I say, looks like some...
I'm sorry, these captions, that really just say Wolverine away.
straight out of Terra Fantasy, alright? I just want to add that in there. So, again, this here looks okay, but again, for me, it just doesn't really look like Wuthering Waves, if you will, right? And this is like an outside version of the town here that we just saw. Again, there's a lot of things that kind of give me, like, this Sonic kind of world vibe, which, again, looks fine, but doesn't look like Wuthering Waves to me, right?
I mean, this is merely just him expressing his personal tastes. And once again, you're simply free to think his personal tastes are dog shit.
And again, you know, like, you look at stuff like this, they've added in a lot of stuff that, like, are cool.
Like, I'm not gonna comment on somebody's opinion. I'll just think it's weird. That's it.
But at the same time, kind of reduce some of the actual reason for having open world games. And for having open world games is to have scope and scale that makes you want to explore them, right? And I believe we're seeing a lot of things being added into Wuthering Waves now that kind of reduces. Really cool. We've got a bike, right, that allows us to explore the world that we've got in the game. Really cool. The fact that everybody gets it, awesome. It's not like behind characters. I love to see it, right?
Yeah.
And the bike design,
no FOMO, complete quality of life, very good.
on itself actually looks kind of cool. And I like that you can customize it and all that sort of. It would be cool if they had in like not just livery customization, but like actual frame customization. That'd be really cool, right? But that's kind of where my positives around the bike end.
Okay, so he's got some big negatives about the bike now. Okay, let's see what the thought process is here.
I will say, I was a little bit worried about the potential physics of the bike when you're riding around. That's my parrot in the background, if you can hear him. About the physics of the bike when you're riding around, right? And I was a little bit worried about them. I think those worries have been put to rest, because when the bike's driving around, it actually, not that big, it actually, where have we got it? We've got a little bit of footage here. I think it might have... Here we go, we can see a little bit here. It looks fine, right? The bike actually looks decent when it's riding around, and I kind of like it. It looks okay.
Okay, where are the problems?
And it looks cool here as well, right?
Why is bro talking in 2x speed? He's on 1.25x. Do you want to hear him on 1?
And the radio, awesome. Love to see that. That's really cool. And you've got this first person
Yeah, he sounds like he's in 1.25.
view and the cinematic view, and you can take
But there's a reason why I have him on 1.25, because it's taking him like 10 fucking out, like...
your waifus on it. We've got all the customization and stuff, right? But again, that's kind of where my positives for that end, because my issue with it, if I can just find, I need to go back now. Let me just quickly find this here a second, guys, because this is kind of like where I've got a bit of a critique with the actual bike itself.
Okay.
Let me just find it. Okay, this was the part I was looking for, right? This is where one of my major criticisms starts to come into with the bike system, right? And it's one of the things I was talking about when I was talking about exploration in a game like Enfield, and just exploration in general. In a game where it's open world or semi-open world or whatever, I want to be encouraged to explore. And I feel like when you're given tools that are based around momentum are good, because as the world gets bigger, it necessitates tools to make you get around the world faster, to make it feel less of a chore. But I think at the same time then, what you do is you make a world that gets bigger become smaller because of these momentum tools, and then it kind of makes some of the things that make exploring fun go away. It removes them. And I think what they're doing here is kind of like a perfect example of them not just doing that, but going a step forward and saying, we kind of get that you don't like doing that as well, so we're just going to remove it. Some people might like this, but for me, it just feels...
So the main argument, at least from what I'm hearing over here, is that mechanics in exploration that allow you to travel or traverse faster. Mechanics that allow you to travel faster can make the world feel smaller and can damage the exploration experience. And so, he's saying that Kuro realized people don't really like exploration, and that's why they're making the experience smaller. That's his take, right? And at like a very, 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 almost sort of like very simplistic reduction of the statement, I don't necessarily think that he's entirely incorrect. However, there are a lot of mixed elements, there are a lot of elements that he's missing in the discussion, and also a lot of like existing mechanics that he doesn't fully understand either. So let me show you all something that you can do right now in game. You can see I'm in the 1.0 map, and it would have been nice if 1.0 didn't have flying, but pretend 1.0 doesn't have flying. You guys want to know one way that I can really seamlessly reduce travel time in my exploration? I can press the teleport button. Yeah. That's what people do in Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, every game. They actually constrict the exploration experience. You don't have to walk everywhere. You actually can just teleport. What he's actually missing over here is the unfortunate truth regarding the matter. If you don't have the bike and you don't have flight, what you're going to do is not even look at the game world. You're just going to teleport everywhere. Having alternative modes of travel outside of teleportation is actually what gets you using the world more after your initial exploration to unlock everything. Without bikes, without flight, without any of this stuff, what you do is you just walk over, you unlock all of these fucking things, and then you never actually explore the world ever again. That's all you do. You just unlock everything, and then you teleport from there on out. With flight, like what we had over... Oh, well, where the fuck is it? Alright, Renacita, where you at? You actually end up not using... Like, if I'm over here, if I was in 1.0, I would just teleport over here. But in 2.0, this is what I'll do nowadays. If I need to move a short distance, right? Or even a longer one, if I want to have a scenic view, right? I'll just go ahead and then I'll fly over to that waypoint. And what have I done now? I've actually effectively explored more of the world than oh, why would you look at that? Looks like I missed one of these. Looks like I missed one of these bad boys. Wouldn't have been able to get this bad boy if I was just using those. Okay, I don't know where it is anymore. Oh, there we go, right? I wouldn't have been able to get that bad boy if I just didn't test out that mechanic right now. So you can already see the ways that having this increased physics or whatever he's saying is going to be negative, right? You can already see how it actually passively encourages exploration in the game. Thanks for responding that one, Kuro. Thank you for responding that one scenario, that one thing specifically for me. I'm glad you guys reached out. Anyways,
this is to the design of what I want to do in a game like this, right? And this is what we see here. Just check this out. You've got this with the bike, which I think looks goofy as hell as well. I've got to say, right? The bike riding around looks cool. This shit looks goofy. I don't care what anybody says. But it's this here that's the issue. So you can kind of go into this view. I forgot what it's called now. They'll name it in a second. But you go into this view where it goes into a bullet time, and you can kind of look around, and you can see chests and pickups, right? And then they do that, and they go into the bullet time, and then they do this goofy shit here. That's so goofy. I'm sorry. It's so goofy. These barrel rolls and stuff with the bike they don't look good, man. I'm sorry. It might be fun, right?
So, that just looks like a different version of the scan feature that we had, like we have it in the game. Like, it's just right. It just looks like a more high-tech version of it. Like, we got this, bro. Obviously, it's not gonna work here because I already got everything here, but yeah, like, we have the scanning feature for chests.
but it just doesn't look good. And then we automatically gather the items. So now, in this game that they're kind of removing a lot of the open world aspect through all these tools, they're removing the idea of actually the reason to explore in these games.
That gave you 5 astrites, so you gathered, like, one thing. That's not, like, multiple chests at once. That's, like, one of them. So he probably collected something in the middle of the air.
It's not GTA. It doesn't give me hours of fun to just play in the sandbox, right? The environmental enjoyment.
The statement, it's not GTA, it's not going to give me hours of environmental whatever, right? So that's what he said. Unfortunately, until you play it, you can't even say that. Because a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun just using the natural geography of Lahai Roy and just motorcycling places. This pause is wild. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I guess, from games like this is going and getting all the little bits and pieces, and then probably doing a little bit of, like, fun stuff in the world. But that's kind of like the smaller part of it. The majority of it is, you know, oh, there's something over there. Let me go get it. And that's what I said I really liked about Enfield, because of it being a bit more grounded and kind of like a PlayStation 2 action-adventure platformer. I like that. I don't like this, because I don't, like, what reason do I ever have to go over here now, other than if, like, story dictates I go over there? I've got no reason to go to these places at all now, because the things that I needed to go over there for, I've just instantly picked up by using this skill. So it kind of, like, negates any reason for me to explore certain parts of the map. And I'm not a big fan of that. I'm genuinely not a big fan of that as well. And
so, wait, let me see the full...
Another thing this adds as well.
Let me see the full actual...
Because you're able to do all of the things, ride around and grapple and barrel roll in the air on a motorbike, which I'm sorry just looks ridiculous for me personally for this game. I'm not saying those systems are bad, but in Wuthering Waves, it just doesn't feel like it fits to what the game originally was personally. And
so, let's revisit this. So this is actually collecting all of the treasures at once? Okay, then this is my take on it. If you don't want to do that, then don't use it. Because the idea over here is that my idea of this is that the devs want the exploration to feel seamless with the bike. And what I mean by that is they don't want you to go into, like, this... Let's just say you've now entered this populated area that's filled with chests. You're now going to get on the bike, go to one spot, get off, pick it up, get back on the bike, move 5 meters, get off, pick it up, get out, get back on the bike, move 5 more, move 5 more meters, right? Get off, then pick up the treasure. And when you know there's like 4, 5, 6 chests all in the same area, oh, good lord, you're just going to end up being disincentivized from using the bike. Because now you're going to be like, there's no point even getting on the fucking bike right now because I'm in exploration mode. I'm going to collect a bunch of chests. I'm just not even going to bother using the bike. The bike's useless because I have to get off of it to even collect any of these chests right now. And so I view this as a, hey, if you want to make your exploration experience centered around the bike, go for it. And you want to know what else I think is going to be a realization over here? Guys, you're still going to have chests locked behind mobs. You're still going to have chests that you literally can't open unless you complete a puzzle or beat up a bunch of enemies. And so you will be incentivized still to stop and explore. This is merely just a, hey, we don't want to make the areas with 5 or 6 chests and verticality diseased. Because look at this. There's one up here. There's one down there. There's one inside this room. You're just... It's either you have this or you just don't use the motorbike in this situation. So the take is, it's optional. You can choose to use it if you want to. And if you choose to use it, then don't complain about it taking away the exploration. He's right, though. It literally kills exploration. This is the situation, my friends. I already told you that there are going to be chests locked by mobs. And so, if you only do this, then you will never pick up those chests locked by mobs. What do you think makes more sense? You're 100%ing a zone, you're gonna drive in, collect everything you can using this feature, then go kill the mob, manually collect it, then go drive to the next area. All this has done is eliminate the gameplay loop of you, like, walking around and jumping up a 2-foot ledge. If your exploration experience is, the highlight of it is climbing up this tiny-ass building, going into here, let's just look at the area that was skipped. Oh, great, you didn't walk in here, you didn't go over there, you didn't... If you want to explore every nook and cranny, you can do that. You can clearly see there's a puzzle over here that you have to do as well. All this is doing is taking away from the more monotonous parts of the chest collection. But there's still puzzles, there's still mobs and shit, you're still gonna have to spend time in these areas. I think that this is one of the biggest non-issues I've ever seen.
Reason for me to explore certain parts of the map.
If all there is in a part of the map is a chest, and then nothing else of meaningful discovery.
I'm not a big...
Does it really matter? Like,
fan of that. I'm genuinely not a big fan of that as well. And another thing this adds as well, because you're able to do all of the things, ride around and grapple and barrel roll in the air on a motorbike, which I'm sorry just looks ridiculous for me personally for this game. I'm not saying those systems are bad, but in Wuthering Waves, it just doesn't feel like it fits to what the game originally was personally. And I get it, a lot of people say, dude, maybe this game's just not for you anymore, you're not the market. Fair enough, but it's a game I really like, so I'm going to offer criticisms and my viewpoints now and again, especially when...
I mean, if you haven't played since 2.2, I can't comfortably say you like it very much.
And poignant things happen. 3.0 is pretty poignant. 2.0 was brilliant. And 3.0 is happening now. So it's a big deal. So I want to talk about it. But adding in the bike and adding in all these tool sets, look at the map design here. Now, there is areas, that's why I preface the video showing you off different areas of the map that look gorgeous. And I'm sure there's areas that are more designed for when you're on foot and a bit more of the cinematic aspect that's connected to the story and the set pieces and stuff, right? But like, look at this here. The map just looks weird to me. Like, there's lots of footage of it kind of looking like a Sonic world. It looks like I'm playing a Sonic game. You know, ooh, all of this is designed in such a way that I can ride the bike up these slopes, which sounds cool, but it just doesn't feel like an immersive action RPG to me.
It literally looks like you're in an alien fucking... It looks like you're in the alien version of Stonehenge here. Brother, look at this shit on the fucking side. Those are like alien markings. If you just think of this region or this area as like, with the mindset of it was left behind by ancient civilizations, it makes a ton of fucking sense why all this shit looks like this. I have to safely say the criticism at this point appears to be, I am having the most narrow-minded view that I possibly can of the content and then critiquing it. Because, I mean, like, he's saying it looks too much like a skater park, but, like, there's a lore reason. It's left by an ancient civilization. That's what Lahai Roi is built around. Lahai Roi is built around a fucking giant Gundam. It's okay, given that context of this thing being housed inside of a giant Gundam, that there's, like, some... Never mind.
It looks like a stage that's designed around a gimmick, and that's cool, because that gimmick can be fun.
You also only see, like, this is a world. I'm only getting, like, a field of view of, like, 90-something to...
But it takes away
like, there's the entire 360 view of this thing.
Idea that I'm in this interesting, evolving world that, like, is trying to immerse me. It's like, the game's like, well, we're in a world that's just funky and crazy, because, you know? And environments are just going to shift and change. Not because it makes sense to the world, just because it makes sense to the new utility that's in the world.
Okay, that would be under the assumption that they shaped all of Lahai Roi around the motorbike. At this point, this is just... If he at least brought in some of, like, the lore speculation and the lore knowledge of, oh, the Space Trek Collective, and, like, basically, what this reads as to me is, hey, I have no idea what the context is around this region. I've made no attempt to do any research at all on the lore and context of the region. And with my lack of actual knowledge, knowing it's all readily available, I'm going to start openly critiquing the plot, the design, the world design, while intentionally not getting any knowledge at all about it. Like, at this point, it's like, I kind of, like, I would expect at least, like, the barest of minimums to, like, at least, like, know what the setting is. Like, most of us will do that when we critique a Hoyoverse game. Like, we know what Amphoreus is all about, right? We know what Nod Cry is all about. We knew what Natlan was all about. Brother, at this point, you have no, like, literal idea what Lahai Roy, Star Torch Academy, the Space Trek Collective, the Slumbering Exostrider, you have no idea what any of these things even are. And so, like, this level of just, like, surface level critique that would be washed away simply by just reading a paragraph. All you need to do is read a paragraph about Lahai Roy.
And I don't like that. I don't like that, personally. Now, does it mean it's going to be bad? No. It just means that you'll have vacuous spaces within the map that there's nothing to do because it's there for you to whip around in your motorbike, which you might have fun with. But overall, you end up going bigger and shallower, and then add in the fact that I can just literally suck up and hoover up all of these items through this tool on the bike. Now, I don't know how often you can do that or exactly how it works, but it seems like they're really reducing the need to go fetch things in this area. Now, that's probably going to be specific to this area, because we know Flight was Renacita, we know the bike's going to be this, who knows what we get next. But my worry is, which is not so much of a worry for me, because I'm not playing the game anymore, but I want to come back to the game. My worry is that every time we go to a new area, there's a new utility because people crave this momentum-based movement, that the map is always going to be designed around that specific utility, rather than just being a cool, interesting map. Now, is the parts of this that look cool and interesting? I think there is, Roy. Like, I must admit, it will be probably
I'm gonna be honest. This is a respectable reach, given about 20 seconds of gameplay footage.
really fun.
I just wanted to get that out there.
On the bike and stuff, right? And some of the tracks, they look dope from a gameplay perspective of racing along on these roads that are going into the air and kind of chicaning and going on the side.
Like,
looks
20 seconds of gameplay, seeing, like, 180 degrees of a map.
cool. But when you think about it in the sense of the world, it looks ridiculous, right? Like, why on earth would the world be built like that? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. And
How?
I suppose maybe I'm thinking about it a little too deep.
How can we talk about the world design?
Like, if you're going to try and, immerse me in this...
Wait, well, why are we talking about the world design over here? Wait, weren't we all, like, talking all that good shit about, like, the architecture and everything? Hey, where is it? Wait, where was the deep critical analysis of how flat everything was? Where is the deep critical analysis for this shot?
In this world, it kind of, like, loses a little bit in that regard when you start doing this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, visually this stuff look cool, and it's cool that, like, other people are driving around on the road as well. I really like that. Like, it makes the world feel alive, right? But as I say again, it just feels like this sort of stuff to me, like, it's just kind of goofy, man. Like, come on. Like, even if you like the look of this, right, and you think this looks cool, you got to admit it looks kind of goofy in this supposedly post-apocalyptic world based around a lament, and we're going to have highbrow storytelling in this game that people keep banging on about, and then we're grappling, hooking, and barrel.
This is what I mean by he has no idea what the context of Lahai Roy. Brother, 3.0, Lahai Roy, and Star Torch Academy. The entire premise of 3.0 is going to space in a giant Gundam. The premise of this region is going to space in a giant Gundam, and you're telling me the biggest issue is a motorcycle doing a barrel roll. And this is what I mean by there hasn't even been the slightest attempt to even do any research. All you needed to do, guys, was just go in here and look at one of the most recent trailers that Kuro Games has put out. This one has 165k views. This is the Gundam. This is its head.
Boy, we're the seed of civilization.
The slumbering exostrider. That's its fucking back. That's like its arms and shoulders. This is a giant Gundam. This is why people have probably so little idea what the fuck could even be said right now. we're out here critiquing the fact that there's a grappling hook attached to a motorcycle and it's being dragged into some of the places. We're here for a giant Gundam, bro. What are we even critiquing anymore?
Rolling a motorbike through fucking midair on, like, elevated roads because, yo, it looks cool and it's like, look, let's do Mario Kart shit. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm, like, not a big fan of it. So, I guess there's my criticisms on how I think the world design is being affected negatively by these utilities. Let's, I guess, a positive thing here, really positive about the tune break stuff and that, as I said earlier. I do like this building system where it looks like you're able to build out a road network. Really cool. I will say, though, it looks like most players are going to need blueprints, right? Because I know people struggle with that sort of. I'm just joking. These look cool as well, as I say. The Echoes look really cool. They actually genuinely look dope. Mostly, I love the fact that they're going with this kind of, like, animal mechs.
I heard he likes Arknight's Enfield.
It's kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn. Looks dope. Some of them look really cool, right? But let me just move on to the characters. So let me just drop my character out for a split second, right? Because I just wanted to say again, Mornier, however you say her name, right? She looks great. I've got a
Did he just disappear?
soft spot for white hair characters in Wuthering Waves and in gacha games in general.
Sorry, did he just say he has a soft spot for white characters? Sorry, it didn't feel as...
Hair characters in Wuthering.
The caption makes it sound way worse. The caption makes it look way worse. The caption makes it look way worse than what he said. I'm sorry, bro. That ain't me.
However you say her name, right? She looks great. I've got a soft spot for white hair characters in Wuthering
White-haired.
Waves and in gacha games in
YouTube almost got you, brother. Damn, you almost got cooked.
general. I thought she didn't look that great when I first saw her. She looks really cool, and the combat looks really cool. Both characters' animations look great. But the other girl, what's her name? Linnae. I'll go back to this game.
I don't think I really care. I don't think I really care about the rest of this. I think bro's just like yapping about the character kits. So this is what I honestly think this video was supposed to be. This video was probably supposed to be like I said before at the start, my honest thoughts on Wuthering Waves 3.0 video, right? But I guess he started off recording it like that, but then it turned into a massive yap session about literally 10 seconds of gameplay footage and talking about how really heavily theory crafting how problematic the update was going to be or how problematic the changes were, again, based off of 20 seconds. And the reasoning that he provided was very subjective, right? Based on his personal tastes. But I can't call into question his criticisms regarding how unrealistic or how un-Wuthering Waves stuff is when literally we're talking like he's bitching and moaning about like the grappling utility on a motorcycle, but like, brother, again, it's a fucking Gundam. That's the Sentinel of the region. It shows to me that this was a very like half committal sort of video. This to me seems like it was like fired off ASAP without like a lot of research. I think this was really just like a shoot from the hip sort of thing. And the end result is that when there's not, it really does give me the whole, hey, jumping back on the hype train for a shred of relevancy sort of vibes. That's going to get a lot of people not liking you really quickly, right? Where you stay radio silent on a game for several months, you only come back to Doompost it, but when you come back to Doompost it, you have literally no idea what you're talking about. And it's okay not to, it's just usually that won't get you a lot of positive reception as a CC. And you can kind of clearly see what has happened over here. Yeah, I'm going to be entirely honest. I feel like I gave a very fair take to this video. I think that I gave actually quite a bit of grace when it comes to trying to decipher what the hell was actually going on in here. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't think the video necessarily warranted such a high level of engagement. This really just seemed like, to me, guy who quit the game for 6-7 months, came back and kind of low-key is saying a bunch of random shit. Spouting off a lot of personal opinions, but those opinions weren't really tempered with a lot of great research. So, yeah. Maybe we can read some of the comments. Maybe this will paint a clearer picture. He's not playing the game anymore. He doesn't know about the current things happening in the game. He wants flight on a region literally under a frozen wasteland. He doesn't want the auto picker while on the bike feature. Go back to number 1. Cars, robots, and ships from 1.0. Not motorcycles doesn't fit in 3.0. Oh no, my steak is too juicy. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. If this was an attempt to return to Wuthering Waves, I'm gonna be real with you over here. It probably did not work out very well. And I guess this is the thing. I don't even need to do anything. It looks like the community, like I said before, I wasn't responsible for this absolute slaughter that you're seeing in the comment section. It might get worse after this video, but I can factually confirm it looked like this morning before I reacted to it. So once again, I'm not toxic. I don't start shit. I just simply talk about issues that are already happening. And, let it be said, I had nothing to do with this man's demise. I'm just merely commenting on it afterwards. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.